Hello, everyone. Here we are for the daily reading. We are going to continue. I believe this is chapter 4 of The Science of Getting Rich. Let's see what part this will be. It'll be in the description, don't you worry. But I really liked where we left off last time when Wallace D. Wattles is starting to tell us people who are wealthy, successful, rich, monetarily primarily. This book is about money, actual money, The Science of Getting Rich. He says that they do things in a certain way. And we revealed in the last video because they think in a certain way. All right. So let's go over a little bit where we left off on and then read a little bit further. So he says, to do things in a certain way, to do things in a way you want to do them, you will have to acquire the ability to think what you want to think. This is the first step toward getting rich. To think what you want to think is to think truth, regardless of appearance. And we talked about that. Regardless of what's going on out here, can you control your thoughts? You have the natural and inherent power to think what you want to think, but it requires far more effort to do so than it does to think the thoughts which are suggested by outer appearance. It is more difficult to choose your own thoughts than to just take in the thoughts that come in from what we can see with our five physical senses or see with our eyes and then take in with our five physical senses. Perceive from what already is, okay? To think according to appearances. So to think according to results, to think according to what already has happened is easy. Anybody could do that. It takes no energy, attention, or focus or effort. But to think about what you truly want, something that has not yet manifest, something that is not in the world of appearances yet. That takes true faith and work. So he says, to think according to appearance is easy. To think truth, regardless of appearances, is laborious and requires the expenditure of more power than any other work you have to perform. It's the hardest work in the world. That's why most people don't do it. Thinking. We think all the time, but really we're just recycling old thoughts and beliefs that we've been programmed to believe, and we never question them. There is no labor from which most people shrink as they do from that of sustained and consecutive thought. It is the hardest work in the world. This is especially true when truth is contrary to appearances. Every appearance in the visible world tends to produce a corresponding form in the mind which observes it. So just because we can't see it out here does not mean it's not true. There's a great Price Pritchett in U Squared talks about the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. So when you are trying to work towards a thing and you want something to happen and it is not happening, there is no evidence in this physical world. He's saying that the absence of evidence is not evidence of its absence in potential truth and reality. And if we just persist in it, it will become the reality. All right. So every appearance in this world tends to produce a corresponding form in the mind which observes it. This can only be prevented by holding the thought of truth. To look upon the appearance of disease will produce the form of disease in your own mind and ultimately you in your body. Instead, you hold the thought of the truth, which is that there is no disease. Disease is only an appearance and the reality is health. Okay, so we're going into the different ones. We'll finish this tomorrow because it is late and I'm so tired, but I just wanted to get on and do my daily call that I said I would do. I was even thinking, oh, I'm so exhausted. Like I've had probably 2 hours of sleep in the past 48 hours. Um, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind about posting every day. And I can at any point, right? Because I made a commitment January 1st that I would do a video on YouTube every day. And I didn't put any requirements like it has to be 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It's like, no, I'll just hop on for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But usually you know, go a little longer. But I was like, maybe I can just like do 6 months and I'll stop in July 1st. And that would be easy. But I thought, why? I'm like, because this is like, I have to like take time for it. But why am I doing it in the first place? Of course, um, for discipline, but also to enjoy it. But this is what I want to do and just share my thoughts. And when you start drifting in your mind, when you have a goal and you set out, it's super fun, super cool. Yeah, it was easy. Wow. January, February, March. April, we're getting into May, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, just stay persistent with what you want. Stay persistent. And we have no idea how things are working in our favor, you know? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. That was probably some part of chapter 4 where we just continued it and we will continue tomorrow. So I am going to take a shower, sleep like a baby, and I will sleep for as long as I'd like. And we don't have anything planned tomorrow, thank God. We're just going to explore the city. We're in Paris right now. My first time. I went on a little run today. It was really nice. It's hot. It was 80 degrees, y'all. 80 degrees Fahrenheit, obviously. But the weather's going to be really nice. It's going to rain a little bit in a couple days. But anyways, I'm not the weather lady here. Okay. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your evening, and we will continue